I mean, Steph can still 100% play, but the reality of where Steph is now in his career is that you're going to get peak Steph in spurts, and you're going to get Steph a couple nights where he's just not particularly effective.
Yeah.
And that's just what he is at this point in his career. And so with Jimmy Butler in that team, you have the ability for Steph to have a quiet night and Jimmy Butler to have a big night, and they still find a way to win. Before Jimmy Butler came to that team, they didn't have any other option to go to. Nobody else was capable of having a big night and carrying the team.
Right.
But Jimmy Butler can, and that's why this team looks and feels a lot different than what we've seen from the Warriors for really the last 2 years, essentially, since they won the title, really.
In that same game, as I said, Memphis lost, and then you have Steph Curry who went off for the 52 points. And then after the game, he says, man, my tank is pretty full after this 52-point game, because a lot of the talk and chatter was that 36-year-old Steph coming down, and they're utilizing him a lot, and he's tired and this and that. But his tank is pretty full, man. So what do you think about Golden State and their chances with Curry playing like this to really compete in the West?
I like Golden State with Jimmy Butler. I don't like them to win the West. I think they could win a series. Best case scenario, they can get to the conference final. But they can't go further than that with this group. It's just not deep enough. It's not talented enough overall. And the reality with Steph Curry is never listen to what an older player tells you. They're fueling their own self-belief with comments like that. And I mean, Steph can still 100% play, but the reality of where Steph is now in his career is that you're going to get peak Steph in spurts, and you're going to get Steph a couple nights where he's just not particularly effective.
Yeah.
And that's just what he is at this point in his career. And so with Jimmy Butler in that team, you have the ability for Steph to have a quiet night and Jimmy Butler to have a big night, and they still find a way to win. Before Jimmy Butler came to that team, they didn't have any other option to go to. Nobody else was capable of having a big night and carrying the team.
Right.
But Jimmy Butler can, and that's why this team looks and feels a lot different than what we've seen from the Warriors for really the last 2 years, essentially, since they won the title, really. And so don't fool yourself. I mean, yeah, he has some gas in the tank. He's capable of having some fantastic performances as he did the other night, but he's not going to give you, 6 playoff games back to back to back at high level performance. He's going to have 2 stinkers in there. He'll have 1 great game and 3 adequate games. And I mean, and by adequate, I don't mean adequate for normal people, adequate for Steph, which is still a damn good game.
Right.
But that's where he is. That's what age does to you. So, yeah, I mean, I think if they got to the conference finals, that would be a huge accomplishment for this group. More likely, they're a second-round exit.
Yeah, right. As standings right now, they will play the Lakers in the first round. I don't think that's going to be the matchup at the end of the day. I think it's about 7
and I don't like
games
that
left.
matchup for them.
Yeah, they're either going to play the Lakers or Denver. I mean, that's kind of what it is. I don't like either matchup for them.
Yeah, true. I don't like either. But if you catch an unhealthy Denver, I'd probably like that best.
Better than the Lakers matchup.
Yeah.
And then you see what Draymond can do with Jokic, and you just go from there.
Yeah.
I would prefer to play Denver over the Lakers if I'm Golden State.
Yeah.
And even if they're Now, outside of that, like you said, I agree with everything you just said about, Jimmy and that mix there. The way that it still does surprise me, though, the way Curry still is able to shoot the hell out of the ball at this stage, though.
Oh yeah.
In his career, that still surprises me. I don't know, man. I wanna say that they could make it to like a conference finals, but yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. The whole West, though. The thing about it is, like, the East, we know there's 2 teams and and nothing else is compelling to me. Like, no other matchups are compelling. So just really the Eastern Conference Finals is what I'm going to be most interested in watching. But the West, man, it's like even the Clippers versus OKC, like that's 1-8. Like that interests me. Like if you telling me that Kawhi he's been healthy for whatever the past month or so, 2 months, and then James Harden is playing well and all of that stuff. Norman Powell is back and playing well. Like that, not to say they have a chance, but that's compelling. I'm going to watch it. And I think it'll go at least 5 or 6 games. Like it's going to be compelling. Minnesota, Houston, that's a good matchup. I'm not a big Houston guy, but hell, they're the second seed some kind of way. Yeah. Shout out to the coach, man, Ime Udoka. Every matchup is compelling. Whoever gets Memphis, that's going to be a holiday. You kind of want them. They're in the 6th seed. So the Lakers are a half game back from Denver. So I know they really want that 3rd seed so they can play Memphis in the first round. Yeah. So, yeah.
But again, Memphis, I'm not quite sure. Like, I mean, if they got a Josh suspension or things get shaky down the stretch,
they
could end up in the play-in, and maybe Minnesota sneaks into 6 or something like that.
Yeah. There you go.
There's enough games for a little bit of shifting, I think.
There is. And then there's this Phoenix thing, man. We talked about Phoenix a little bit there. What do you do if you're Phoenix at this offseason?
Blow it up.
What does blow it up look for you?
Katie's gone. I guess you're stuck with Bradley Beal. I would entertain. I would at least listen to what people are willing to offer for Booker.
I 1,000% would. Yeah. Now the owners come out and said Booker is 1,000% stand. We're not listening to any calls and this and that. But I just think that's foolishness.
Yeah.
Like. Who is Devin Booker for you to say you're not trading him at all? Like who? Like. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
This is not some fucking.
You've made one finals appearance with Devin Booker.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that was a great team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Booker was playing well, but.
I mean, you still had a strong Chris Paul. Ayton played well that year. Mikal Bridges. You had a really nice team.
Yeah.
There around that. And so, Booker as a be-all, end-all winner is not the. I don't see it. I don't feel that. And so I would entertain offers, and I just don't know.
Because my thing is, I don't know what you're going to get for whatever 37-year-old Kevin Durant. Like, I don't know if you're going to get the house for him. I know he's still good.
Yeah.
But I don't believe you can get the house for Kevin Durant. You'll get a piece of here or a pick here that could be useful.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to get the house for him. I think you can get more for Devin Booker. And you're a team that needs everything, and you need a lot. You don't have any picks, you don't have any flexibility, you don't have any money, you don't have nothing.
Well, how much better off would they be right now if they had drafted Luka over Ayton?
Yeah, that's a couple of teams. That's Atlanta. That's
but they were number one.
They had it was their choice.
They could have taken whoever they wanted, and they made the decision.
It was their choice. That's why you should just hold on to Ayton and not just let him go for peanuts. For nothing, just because you didn't want to pay him.
Yeah,
that was.
No, you don't hold on to why?
Because you invested so much in him being the number 1 pick, and he's a useful center. He's not. Part of their problem now is they don't have a point guard. They don't have a center. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, Ayton would have made this team so much better. So that's the thing. But whatever, that's gone. I think you got to look at trading KD and Booker.
Yeah.
I think that's your way.
If you could convince Bill to retire. I would.
I mean, I would just make life hell for him. Go and pay somebody to go in his locker, trash it.
Just leave a shit in his locker every day.
Leave, the jet leaves without him. Tell him it's leaving at a different time. Oh, you got to make life hell for him and make him say, "Yeah, Phoenix is a terrible place." That's what you got to do.
Get out of here.
Yeah, man.
Somebody get me out of Phoenix.
What a whore of a human being, though, man. These people don't want you there, man. You're staring there just to be
just
like
out of spite.
It's out of spite. That's why you're staring. Like, oh, you want to get rid of me? Well, I'm not going anywhere. It's like,
you can't
on,
trade
man.
me.
Like, come on, man.
That's funny. That is good.
Yeah. Hopefully they take like a. I'm hoping we can do like a Paul George for Bradley Beal. That's my dream. My dream trade for the 76ers is Bradley Beal for Paul George. Now, because reportedly Bradley Beal says after the season he will be open to going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Now, because Bradley Beal only has one more year after this year on his deal.
Well, if that's the case, then you can move him. By all means, move him, and maybe you don't have to move Booker if you can move KD and Beal and make enough moves around that.
The thing is, you're not going to get anything for Beal. You're just not. I mean, unless it's like you're getting another distressed asset. Like I said, the Paul George is my dream. Like if you could do that. But outside of another distressed asset, you're not getting anything positive for Beal.
Yeah.
So KD is the thing. Is if you can still get something. And so to think like the teams that can use KD, like as things are in Memphis, KD can be positive in Memphis. Houston can use. I mean, Houston has more like young assets and some picks that can make sense, and I think Houston is a team that can really use KD. You know.
Yeah.
And then you'll see what happens to OKC if they don't make it to the finals. I know you said you're still not on that train of getting like a KD no matter what.
Yeah, no, not for them. And I do like him in Houston. Right now, I don't like the Memphis situation.
You don't like the Memphis thing
for anybody.
Who was the guy that wouldn't go to Memphis? Jimmy
Butler.
It was Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe people see what you see with Memphis as far as the players.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Once again, you're still on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all, and I do mean all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Do you want to go to some stories, or do you want to go to the Final Four?
Let's see some stories, man.
Oh, all right.
Mix it up a little bit.
Let's mix it up then. All right.
Variety is the spice of life.